Hello everyone, this is Miss Coomer welcoming you to our very first online art class. I hope that everyone is doing well. I've enjoyed seeing the progress on your Class Dojo artwork, so please keep submitting that. Our lesson today is inspired by American artist Wayne Theibaud, whose paintings of cakes, pies, ice cream, and other fun subjects are meant to make people smile and feel joy. As you can see from the images, his work looks truly delicious. He realistically conveys frosting by gobbing and swirling paint and takes care to render clear geometric forms so that they are three-dimensional. What do I mean by forms? I mean your 3D shapes, your spheres, your cones, your cylinders, your cubes. Today I'm going to show you guys how to create a couple of Wayne Theibaud inspired desserts using the element of form. For materials, all you really need is a pencil and paper. If you want to add color, you can go for it. You can use whatever you want. I'm probably going to use colored pencils, markers, or crayons, but feel free to use pastels if you have them, or paint. It's totally up to you. If you don't have any of those things, a pencil and paper will work just fine. Let's get started. All right, so you guys can see my workspace here. I'm going to be using a Sharpie to draw just so that everybody can see what I'm doing really well. You guys know that pencil line can be light at times. So the first thing I'll show you is how to draw a slice of cake. And then the second thing I'm going to show you is how to draw the whole cake with the slice taken out. Okay, so for the slice of cake, I'm going to start by creating a triangle. Nice and big, right in the middle of my paper. And I like to have like the long pointy end facing down. Okay, this is the top of my slice of cake. Then I'm going to draw two lines coming down. One from this nice long point and another from the far end. We don't do anything with this point. Okay. Now for my final line, I'm going to create a line that goes from this point to this point that is parallel, that does not intersect this line here. Okay. You can use a ruler to do this, but it's not really necessary. It is just a piece of cake. Okay. And you guys can see that's like a nice little triangular piece of cake. From here I can add details like nice frosting in the back. Oh, that looks like a crust for like an apple pie. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe some lines across, stripes. Maybe there's a nice filling running through the middle. Maybe a nice skinny one and then a wider one. Right? And if I want my pie to be sitting on a table, I can go ahead and draw a line back here. And there's my slice of cake or slice of pie. Okay. Next, I'll show you how to do the cake. Okay. So I'm going to start off with like a Pac-Man sort of shape, if that makes any sense to you. So it's going to be rounded in the back, sort of like I'm making an oval. But when it comes to the front, I'm going to have a nice wide Pac-Man mouth. Do you guys see that? Okay. So now I'm going to draw two more lines. One is going to come from this side and one from this side. Sort of right on the edge of that oval Pac-Man shape. And it's going to come down. And same thing on the other side. And then I'm going to draw two more lines that come down a little further in, kind of at like the points of this Pac-Man mouth. One there, one there. Okay. Now I'm going to draw two more lines. I'm sort of like making the bottom of the cake, and I want them to be curved. This line is a little bit curved. I want it to be like that, curving out and down. Same thing on the other side. And down. Uh-oh, one side of my cake is a little longer. Let's make that long. We'll add a sort of stripe decoration over here to make up for it. There we go. Okay, so now we need to address sort of where like the inside of the cake would be, where we'd be able to see it. So this sort of triangular peak, we want to repeat down here. So between this point and this point, we're going to create another triangle point. Okay, and then this line here is the very middle. Do you guys see that? To have it sitting on a table, again, I'm going to draw a line over here and over here And now it's time to add my detail. So, I mean, you could make this cake for any occasion. I think I want to do a sort of polka dot cake. So I'll draw these little polka dot ovals on top. Like a ladybug cake. That's what it is. It's a ladybug cake. And then maybe some more striping on the side of these cakes. And I want to curve those lines too, so that it looks really 3D. Got a lot of control over here. Okay, so the last step for everybody is going to be to either use some shading with your pencil if that's all you have, or choose some color. Okay, so for example, I just have this it's this new really cool Twistables colored pencils, and I selected these just because I don't have a pencil sharpener at home. But imagine this is my pencil. I'm just going to add some value overall. Okay, so that means that things that are supposed to be dark, I'm going to be applying a lot of pressure so I can create a nice dark value with my colored pencil, which in this case is going to be black. Okay, so maybe all of my spots here are really dark and black. Okay, and from here on out, it's all about adjusting how hard I'm pressing down on my pencil to show darkness, or how lightly I'm lifting up to show light. So for example, I'm just going to do like a little value scale up here. Do this to your own drawing. But if I'm pressing nice and hard, I get a nice dark value. And as I lift up on that pressure, see how light it gets. Okay, so if I want a nice light top, I'm not going to press down super hard on my color pencil. I get like a nice light gray. And again, this black colored pencil is really mimicking what a regular pencil does. Okay. And then sort of my rule for the sides, it's really a cylinder, right? So it's going to bow out in the middle. Imagine that would be light, and then the sides would be dark. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and press down on the outside. And as I get more towards the middle, I'm going to lift up that pressure. Making sure I'm not like scribbling or leaving any big white spaces. If you're using a pencil with graphite, you can blend this really nicely too. And go back in and readjust. But you guys, I hope, can see that it goes from sort of being really dark on the ends to sort of a medium gray to a light gray. Okay, and again, the same thing on the other side. I go ahead and twist that. There we go, on the outside of my cake. Now the middle of the cake, you can imagine not a whole lot of light can get in there, so that's going to be a pretty heavy dark. I'll make one side really dark, as dark as I can get it. Again, that's just adding pressure. Maybe I do a couple layers of it over top. Go over it a couple times. And then the other side, maybe it's dark, but not quite as dark. there we go. There's my black and white shaded cake. And then with this one, again, this is for those of you who want to add lots of color. Have a lot of fun with it. I mean, cakes can be all sorts of different colors. You don't have to stick to just like your chocolate or your vanilla. So maybe I'll do some like blue and red striping and like a purple inside. Okay, so I'm going to continue with that. But I hope you guys have fun with this. Please remember to share out what you're doing on Dojo. Email me if you have any questions. Message me. I will get back to you. I'm going to be sharing something new with all of you next week. Feel free to share this with any of your siblings or any of your friends. But bye, guys. Thank you.